Okay.
Got it. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jane Dowler, the clairvoyant psychic medium of Entering Psychics. Business I have with my partner, Heidi Mello. Today, I want to talk to you about visions. I get visions sometimes. I can be doing the dishes, I could be watching TV. Heidi calls it time walking, I think. Well, I will be in the room and I'll be present, but all of a sudden, I'm like somewhere else. And if I had the vision like more than 3 times, I know, hey, Jane, pay attention. So lately I've had this vision and it happened to me. Like I said, I was doing dishes. I was up in my bedroom reading, and then one time I was watching TV. I just kind of went out to the front of the local Aldi's, and I was standing there, and I went in, and for some reason I had the idea that I had to buy a loaf of bread, and I went in, and the shelves were almost completely empty, and everyone was panicking, and there was like one jar on each shelf. And so usually after I have it 3 times, I'll call Heidi and say, well, what do you think? And she is very good. She's very intuitive. And she said, I think we need to put something out. So that's what we're going to do today. That's what she calls them, my predictions. And I guess that's what they are. And I don't want to worry anybody. There's no need to get upset. And don't drop everything and rush out to the grocery store right now. These are just someone showing me the vision that this is going to happen. There's going to be food scarcity. We're not going to have no food. We're just going to have food scarcities. And Heidi and I today are going to talk about a few steps that you can take to maybe make you feel comfortable. And I really don't want you to get upset, because usually when I have something like this, it's way down the line. So I'm going to turn it over to Heidi, and she's going to talk to you about maybe getting prepared and some ideas she has.
Okay. Uh, don't panic. Be prepared. When Jane has the visions that are like this, it's just something for us to be aware of, and they do usually happen, but we as a community can help. One of the things that doesn't matter if you live alone, doesn't matter if you live with a family, a group, um, get your lists ready. What do you do every single week or every other week for your grocery list? Make that grocery list, buy a little bit extra. Okay. When I went to grocery shopping this week, I needed peanut butter. There's very little peanut butter in some of the grocery stores that I went to. So I know Jane's vision is coming into fruition in different stages. So what you want to do is do that list. Do the maintenance list. Do so if you need your peanut butter, if you need your ketchup, if you need some of the staples, some rice, corn, canned goods, buy them, but then buy maybe a little bit extra, maybe 1 or 2 cans. And the week after, or maybe 2 weeks later, make up a maintenance list. And maybe you want to get one more can of corn, one more can of the green beans. Maybe you want to get one more bottle of the peanut butter, a jelly, a jam of some sorts. Also, what you want to do is pay attention to any of your expiration dates. And Jane is going to explain the expiration dates to us. That's really important that I didn't know about, but she did some research on it, and I thought it was very fascinating. But what we have to do is just prepare. So it's on the idea of, what are you preparing for Thanksgiving? So don't make it, holy cow, this is going to be crazy. Think of it in smaller portions. So what do you do to prepare for Thanksgiving? What do you do to prepare for Christmas? What do you get into your house? Maybe you want to buy that 1 can extra of gravy, stuff like that, so that when you need it, you have it, and you're not going, oh my God. There are stores that are out there that they love the Aldi's. You have this Walmart, you have the Stop and Shop, you have the Shaw's, you have even a Job Lot has, your canned goods in there, and they're not bad at all. You watch out for the expiration dates and the use by dates, which is also important, and you have it. Also, don't forget, if you have pets, you have to prepare for them as well. So maybe, if you have a specialty food that you need, maybe in the next couple of weeks or so, getting that into your house for for the winter, because fall is, your harvest is coming in. We're getting ready to cool off the earth a little bit more. So now you need to get ready for winter. And that's how we're doing it. It is important that we listen, because sometimes when I don't listen to Jane, it like smacks me in the face. And it's like, I'm not really going to go there again. So I listen, we analyze, we pay attention to the news, even though I hate watching the news and listening to it. We have to pay attention to it. And we have to focus, just focus. Don't panic, make your lists. When you use something, do what Jane did on a couple of videos before. She has a magnetic list on her refrigerator. She writes it down. So if you've used a can of beans, well, we're going to write that down. That's going to be part of our maintenance list. It is work, but once your mind gets into the routine, it's going to be second nature, and you're paying attention. Don't forget your paper goods. So if you're doing your food one week, your paper goods are another week. Okay. So your paper towels, your tissues, the TP paper that's important, the tiny tissues that you put in your pocketbook or pocket, everything that you use, work on a maintenance program to keep them in yourself stocked. Okay. I want to have Jane go over the expiration dates, because I thought it was very fascinating about that. So Jane, it's you.
Okay, I did some research because I've been buying extra canned goods, and I'm going to show you in a minute. I went to the dollar store and I bought some things, because I know you guys are saying I don't have extra money to buy extra groceries. I went to the dollar store and I picked up a few things just to show you that, even $5 extra a week can get you started. But first of all, the Best Buy dates and the use by dates that are on cans in the grocery store, I had done some research, and I had just happened to watch on YouTube, and I saw a video about that, and it said that it was saying how those are mainly for the store, but I just can't take a YouTube video, so I have to do some research on my own. I'm very curious. Like, I don't care about gossip, I don't care about who's sleeping with who, but I'm very curious about things like that. So I did all kinds of research, and if you look up each individual product, like, let me just grab these. These are the egg substitutes, and it said Best Buy, and that's what's important. Because it said Best Buy, February 14th, 2024. That's the Best Buy for the store, or the company selling it. But if you take the individual product and you Google it and you ask what's the best date to use it by, some of these will tell you 3 to 6 months. So that's when the store has to sell it. That does not mean I was a great one for going to the cupboard. Oh, it's Best Buy, throw it out. And then I thought about it after I saw that YouTube video, and then I did all my research. And I thought, oh no, that's for the store to sell it. That's why stores have the discounted section where they put canned goods that are past the date. And I always wondered how they could sell something past the date. Not being too bright, not thinking too much about it until nothing's got bad. I started doing some research, and I realized that's the best that they can sell it by. But you can still buy it, and usually it's 3 to 6 months. Mm-hmm. So what I do with my canned goods is I write the Best Buy date, or the date on the can on it, and then I just write like 3/24, and then I look, well, okay, this is still good for 3 more months. So then I add 3 more months to it. So that's when I know I absolutely have to use it or lose it.
Right.
So right now I'm just gonna take a minute, and then I'm gonna hand you back over to Heidi, and she's gonna talk to you about your medicine cabinets and other things that you need to think about. But I went to the dollar store, and I picked up. It was a little bit more than $5. But, well, maybe not. Maybe it was. So I got 4 items here. And they're $1.25 a piece. Like, the first thing I got, which is good to have, is the core rice mixes. They were $1.25. And I've been experimenting with my son and my husband, and they're kind of probably going, I keep telling them, this is our maintenance thing. This is our, so I take this, and the dollar store also has 2 links of kielbasa together, or they have 2 links of Polish sausage together. So I bought some of those. I fried those up, and then I mixed them with the rice, and I threw in a can of vegetables, and they had that for dinner. And I always ask them, could you survive on this if it was an emergency? And my son says, I probably wouldn't order in a restaurant, but yeah, it would get me through. And you're getting your protein. And even if you don't have meat, I also done it with the beans. My husband's a real meat lover, so when I showed him the beans, he was just like, where's the meat? And I said, yeah, beans with protein. He's like, that's not meat. But we tried it. The other thing, the dollar store sells bags of rice like this. And every time I go to the dollar store, which isn't that often, but every time I go to the dollar store, because I get my dog treats or my shampoo, I grab a bag of rice. So now I have 6 bags of rice at $1.25 a piece. And they've been over 6 trips. So now I spent $2.50. The other thing that my family's not really fond of, but once again,
I love ramen noodles. Woo!
ramen noodles. I bought some canned chicken at Walmart. I rinsed it really good to get rid of the smell. I threw it in the frying pan, warmed it up with a few little spices. I made a couple packs of ramen noodles, threw a package of frozen broccoli in there. Once again, they ate it. They liked it. They said they wouldn't. You know, my husband was like, "Well, I wouldn't want it every day, but if I was starving, I would eat it." So there you go. So now I spent $3.75 plus the can of vegetables, which I split my can of vegetables because only 3 of us. And my husband's not a big vegetable person. I will split them and I'll freeze half. That way I can mix my vegetables. So you figure $3.75, I spent $5, and the last thing I bought, so this is going to be $6.25. It's a dollar store has these. They're 4 rolls of Scott tissue. And I know tissue's getting hard to find, so what I do is every time I go, I just buy a pack. I have a shelf outside my bathroom. I always keep 2 on there. And then what I do is, when I buy the new one, I put it in we have an empty bedroom. I put it in the empty bedroom. I do that, and I buy 2 rolls of paper towel. All right. So now I want to talk about something else, completely different, off topic, and I just wanted to mention this because I just recently learned how to do it. I know eggs are getting really hard to find. They're really expensive. So someone told me about freezing eggs. So once again, research fan here. I did the research, and I found out if you have a muffin tin and you buy these little solid silicone muffin papers, you put them in your muffin tin. You crack 1 egg at a time into your measuring cup, and you pour 1 egg in each one of these. You put it in the freezer flat, which I had to do a little rearranging because I'm a freezer queen. I freeze everything. If it's freezable, I freeze it. You let them freeze flat, and then when they're frozen, you take them out, you pop them out, and put in a Ziploc bag. So you got your dozen eggs. I only have a 6 thing muffin tin. I have to do it twice. So you get a dozen eggs. You write the date on it, and from what I understand, you can Google it. But in the freezer, they'll last for a while. And so these eggs are used for scrambled eggs and cooking eggs and that kind of stuff. But for baking, I found these great things on Amazon. I got 3 packs of these. This 1 pack here is equivalent to 34 eggs.
Wow.
You want to hold it there. It's
Wow.
Red Mill Egg Replacer. Someone told me about them. I looked them up and I bought them. It was a 3-pack. I think it was like $20. So you figure I got, for like $20, I got 102 eggs. And these you can use for baking. You can't use them for scrambling or anything. That's why I had the frozen ones. But you can use these for baking, for making bread, for making anything else.
Oops. We lost you a little bit. Oops, I think we lost you.
Was my $6.25 store haul. But you could have got it done 5. You didn't have to get the toilet paper. You could have left something out. But making a pack of rice will last you for a couple meals. But I'm going to turn you back over to Heidi so she can go over non-food items that maybe you might want to be conscious of.
Okay, I think we might have lost you a little bit, but I think we did get really the great impression of the egg replacers, because we want to be really proactive with what's going to be happening out there. And you know, you're in charge of your home and you get everybody involved. So you get all your family involved so you don't feel like you're doing this on your own. This is really important that you have other people that live in your home. You get them involved. You get them involved. It's like, what do they need? What do you need? Make a list. So that we can be organized about it. So that nobody, including any infant or your kids, babies, maintenance for them. Do they need diapers? Do they need wipes for yourself? Everything.
There is another company, I prefer these, but there's another company called Nido Egg, and that's a vegan egg.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
I use that a lot for my daughter, but it doesn't have the same. This has a more whipped egg taste, like a more eggy taste. But the Nido Egg works good as you can put it in the meatloaf as the item. What do they call it? The binder. I mean, you can use these for the binders and different things. You can use them for a lot of things.
Excellent. And that's a perfect saying right there. If you have vegetarians or vegans, these are different things that everybody would need to know about if you have any one of those in your family. I have both a vegan and a vegetarian, so that's perfect. With the medicine maintenance, also very important. So we have a time that we're dealing with the flu, colds, COVID. What are we doing to keep ourselves maintained in a healthy? So go out and get your Zicam, get your Dayquil, your NyQuil. Walgreens and CVS, they have their own products, because NyQuil, Dayquil, that can be really expensive. So instead of just paying for the name, why don't you just pay for the ingredients that you're getting at a lower price? If you have coupons on your phone from Walgreens, from CVS, all of that, use them. You have to, if your Advil, your Tylenol, just keep a running stock of them. Band-Aids. Everybody needs Band-Aids at some point in time, and when you need them, you can't find them. So again, this is where your dollar store comes in, where your, the Walmart, the CVS. Sometimes they can sell things in bulk at less of an expensive price, so that you're able to, you might be able to buy it once for the whole season or twice for the whole season, and you're good. You're good. But what we need to do is focus and pay attention of what's in our house versus what's in it. So as you're paying attention to the news and the weather out there, you're pre-preparing. You have to just really don't panic, but just be aware of, what your stores are doing. What do they have now, and what have they not been able to keep a stock of? So if you've gone to all of those, the stores that you normally go to and then some. So if you really want that peanut butter, you really want that chicken noodle soup, that's your maintenance shopping. So once every couple of weeks, when you do your regular shopping, get an extra something, because things are going to be happening. We just need to be prepared for them. And we need to, and that when you're prepared and you're focused, you're less scared.
Right. And that's a load off your mind. And like Heidi says, my husband is as skinny as a rail, but he loves ice cream sundaes at night. But he loves cherries, and he has to have 4 cherries every night. Can't have 3, can't have 2, can't have 5. He had to have 4 cherries every night on our Sunday. For a while there, you couldn't find the maraschino cherries. So we finally found a jar, and it said on the shelf, buy one, get one free. So he was going to get 1 jar because he was out of cherries. So he got 1 jar. And I said to him, no, honey, you couldn't get it for 3 months. So it's buy one, get one free. So let's get 2. And he was like, okay. And then we went back and we did it again. So we had 4 jars of cherries, which he's gone through 1 already. And he said to me, so we went out to replace that 1 jar, and he couldn't find cherries. And he said, it's a good thing that you thought about that. And I said, well, yeah, because you would be out of your cherries. He can't live without his steak, his cherries, or his Oreos. So the thing is, one of the things I did is I made a list of things that my husband, my son, and myself too really, really like and really wouldn't want to do without. For me, is my little unsalted pretzels. Me and my dog love those things. We have them every night. They have and I made a list. So and then I watched the flyers. I watched the sales. And if it says buy one, get one free, I can guarantee you I'm going to make a point of buying the 1 and getting the 1 free. Or buy 2, get 1 free. And it doesn't have to be everything every day. Like I said, I just keep and now I know my list in my head. I just know a list, and when I go to Walmart, I check for these items. And if they have them and they're on sale or on special, I buy one. And I always try to have a backup and then a backup for my backup. That's my thing. It's 3. I do everything in 3s.
Right.
Yeah. Of things that we really, really like. But if it's things that we might just need, but you have to evaluate. You have to really go through your cupboards, like I said. You have to figure out how often you use something. Like if there's something you hardly ever use, but you want to have it in the house, then you get the one in the cupboard that you're using cupboard, and then one back up in your pantry. So that's going to last you for a year. I base everything on a year.
Right.
And then I figure out. And then another thing I would like to talk to Heidi about, maybe, because she was very right about the medicines and the things. Heidi and I were thinking about doing something alternative things, because there are alternative things you can do, and Heidi's done quite a few. But that's going to be another video, and Heidi's going to about things that you can use to heal a cut, or if you don't have or you can't get, like the Neosporin and stuff. There's other alternatives. So
right.
Think outside the box and make your list. Now take an extra minute, but just your family's worth the extra few minutes to make the list. It took me a while to get around to doing it because I was like, oh my God, that's such a lot of work. But then I finally did it. And I'm glad I did.
And then you have time for extra, do you need to think about something extra? So it's like, all right, great. You've maintained this list. You've mastered it. It's like, and sometimes you just think it's like, well, what else can I do? And it's like Jane's gone beyond, and it's like, well, let's figure out those expiration dates. What do they really mean? So that way we're able to tell you. And basically, it's just about informing everybody what do you need to help, so that we're not panicking while we're helping. And that's basically all we want to do, because winter's coming. I know that was like from Game of Thrones, but it's going to get out there, and it might be a little bit more difficult than we might think. So if we start preparing now, we'll be ready. Your medicine's important. Your medicine for your pets, your maintenance, everything that you do is maintenance. And then later on, you're going to think, well, what do we need for the house? That's another thing that you want to start paying attention to. How do we maintain? Because apparently, electricity, gas are going up. So now the next thing is like, all right, it's like, what we can do to maintenance our house so that we're not going to be paying so much for gas or electricity. Anything that's going to help to keep the more money in your home and keep you safe. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to think about.
Okay, I wasn't going to tell anyone about the second part of the vision. Heidi knows about it, but I wasn't going to put it out there. I don't want anyone to panic, but I decided that Heidi and I did this video and told you ways to correct it. I'm going to tell you the scariest part of the vision I have was when I came out of the store, there was people, and they looked like they were like Holocaust victims. They're very thin, and they were lined up my Aldi's has a huge long sidewalk in front of it, and they were all sitting down, and they had empty bowls on their knees. And I walked down the sidewalk, and I saw all these people, and there was nothing in their bowls. And that's what really prompted me to put this out there. But please don't panic. Don't panic. And the other thing I wanted to say was, you can assign other people in your family jobs. Like, my husband has a job to keep his thing, and because I told him I had too much to watch out with the pantry and stuff. And he does something with the pantry. Is the propane for the grills in case anything happened or anything. That's his job I gave him batteries, propane, and candles, and he, we went out and we got some candles. He took care of that, and he maintains it, and we use a lot of batteries for different things, and that's his job, and I don't even interfere with it. And so, if we get to the point where we're walking around the dock and we're stumbling down the steps because he didn't do the batteries, he's going to be sleeping on the couch for a week. But don't be afraid to assign someone a task to say, you need to let me know when this gets low. That's all it has to be.
Right. Batteries. I didn't even think about batteries. That's also very important. So do you have your flashlights? Make a list of your flashlights and go get the batteries for each one and then get a backup. Always watch out, like Jane said, for sales, the buy one, get one half off. Your energizers, everything. You just maintain your home, your pantry, everything that you need to do so that you won't have to be worried about, going without.
Yep. And Job Lot, Dollar Store, and the Christmas tree shop,
yeah,
you can get good deals on candles. And that's what my husband did. But yeah, that was his, because, you might have to be the captain of your ship, but, you have first mates that you can say, you need to keep track of this. If this one's low, then you have to just let me know and we'll take care of it.
Right.
He's been really good about it. Every time we go to he's gotten almost obsessed with batteries. Every time we go to the store, he goes to the battery section and looks, says, how much we have. And we don't leave a store without buying a pack of batteries. Now I'm kind of regretting I gave him that job, but it's okay.
Exactly.
He was counting them this morning. My husband takes it very serious. He's very work conscious, and he's doing the same thing at home.
That's perfect. All you have to do is assign, and like Jane says, you're the captain of the ship. You just have to make sure that everybody else does their part.
Yep. And please don't panic. We've given you lots of ideas how to, and like I said, it's not going to be no food. That wasn't, and I had this vision 3 times, and it's not going to be no food. It's just going to be, the food's going to become very expensive, and it's going to be, you're not going to have a choice. If you go to the store and you want a loaf of bread, which happened to us the other day, we were out of bread, and I didn't feel like making it. We went to the store, and there was only one kind of bread. That was it. Just no white. That was our choice. It was that or nothing. So of course we got that. But and it was $5 for the one loaf, but
yeah.
But like Heidi, we did the bread making thing, and Heidi has a great recipe that.
Yeah, to put it out there for everybody for the website. And if anybody else has ideas of their own that they wanted to share with us so that we would be able to put it out, we want everybody to be on board
I've been
with,
freezing a lot of things. I Google a lot, how if I can freeze it or not. And if I can freeze it, I freeze a little bit of it.
yeah, absolutely. Don't hesitate to give us your ideas as well, because we love ideas and we put them out there. We give it to everybody.
Yeah, we share.
We totally share.
So I'm gonna sign off and say goodbye for now. And I hope you've learned something. And once again, please don't panic.
Yeah.
This is just a vision, and I'm gonna start doing this more often, putting them out there, because I have to put them out to get them out of my head, or I keep having them.
Yeah.
And I usually tell the Heidi, but I think maybe I need to burden everybody, not just Heidi.
Which is not a burden, forewarned, forearmed. That's how I feel about it. And if your spirit guides are saying this is something that needs to be done, then we do it. It doesn't hurt, it only helps. Take anything that we say to the heart, or just, give it to your family members so that they can know as well. If you're all set and ready and you're already doing this, that's wonderful. We just want to let everybody and help everybody out there.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So everybody enjoy the rest of their afternoon, and we will all talk to all of you soon. All
Yes.
righty? Bye-bye.
Bye. Blessings.